Life doesn't care about your comfort zone. It doesn't care about your struggles, your pain, or your fear. When it comes down to it, life doesn't owe you anything. The world doesn't give a damn about how tired you are, how tough the road is, or how many setbacks you've faced. If you want something, you have to go out and get it. And if you want to reach that next level, if you want to achieve something great, it's on you. Nobody is coming to help you. You are your own hero. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you can start taking control of your life. The truth is, there will be times when you feel completely alone. There will be moments when you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and no one understands what you're going through. Maybe you'll look around and see other people succeeding, getting attention, getting praise, and it might feel like everyone else is getting a helping hand while you're stuck on your own. But here's the reality: when you're truly committed to the grind, the journey, and the work, you learn to rely on yourself. You learn that it's you who has to make it happen. And that's when the power shifts from everyone else to you. There's something incredibly powerful about standing in front of the mirror, looking yourself in the eye, and realizing that the person staring back at you is the one who's going to get you through it. When you realize that you're your own source of motivation, your own source of strength, that's when you stop looking for external validation. You stop waiting for someone else to push you, and you start to take charge of your own destiny. It's a painful lesson to learn, but it's the truth. No one is going to do the work for you. People can give advice, they can cheer you on, but they're not going to put in the hours, the sacrifice, and the pain that you'll need to make things happen. That's your job. When you stop relying on others for your success, you take the power back. You take full ownership of your life, your actions, and your results. Of course, this doesn't mean you have to shut everyone out. It doesn't mean you have to live in isolation and cut yourself off from relationships or support. But it does mean that when it comes down to it, the only person who can make you succeed or fail is you. People can encourage you, but at the end of the day, you're the one who has to make the decision to get up and do the work. You're the one who has to show up when no one else is around, when the lights are off, and when the world is sleeping. It's you who has to do the extra push-ups, the extra miles, the extra hours when nobody is watching. And that's when you prove to yourself that you can rely on yourself, that you can be your own hero. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we need others in order to succeed, and while having support is great, it's a trap to believe that you can't move forward without someone else pulling you along. You've got to stop waiting for permission to succeed. You've got to stop looking for someone to hand you the keys to the kingdom. The kingdom is yours to take, but you're the one who has to go out and take it. And the only person who can make it happen is you. The path may be long, it may be painful, and it will certainly be lonely at times, but the key is to realize that this is exactly where you build your strength. It's in those tough moments when you feel like no one cares, when you feel like the world is against you, that you discover who you really are. You find out if you have what it takes to keep moving forward, to keep fighting, to keep pushing even when it seems like there's no one there to back you up. There will be days when you want to quit. There will be days when you're exhausted, defeated, and ready to throw in the towel. But in those moments, you have to ask yourself, who am I? Am I someone who quits, or am I someone who keeps going? Am I someone who looks for a way out, or am I someone who finds a way to keep moving forward even when it's hard? The more you practice relying on yourself, the stronger you become. The more you show up for yourself, the more you realize that you are capable of far more than you ever thought. And in the end, when you stand at the summit, when you look back at everything you've overcome, you'll realize that you did it. You did it alone, and that makes the victory even sweeter. Because in the end, you are your own hero. The world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't care about your struggles, your setbacks, or your dreams. It doesn't care if you feel stuck, if you're tired, or if you're just trying to survive. The truth is, the world will keep moving forward, regardless of your situation. Life doesn't pause for anyone. It doesn't take a break for your pain, your exhaustion, or your disappointments. The clock doesn't stop ticking. No one is going to hand you success, and no one is going to make things easier for you. If you want something, if you want to achieve something great, then it's up to you to make it happen. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you can start taking control of your life. When I say no one owes you anything, I mean that you can't sit around waiting for other people to make your dreams a reality. You can't expect others to pull you out of the gutter or give you an opportunity. The world doesn't care if you're talented or capable. It doesn't care how much potential you have. It doesn't care if you're working hard or putting in the effort. There's no magic formula that says because you're a good person or because you try hard, the universe will align to give you what you want. The universe doesn't work that way. Life doesn't hand out rewards just for showing up. If you want to succeed, if you want to rise above your current circumstances, you've got to earn it. You've got to put in the work. You've got to put in the hours. You've got to put in the effort when no one is watching, when no one is there to cheer you on. You can't wait for someone to encourage you or motivate you. You've got to find that drive within yourself because in the end, it's your work, your grind, your commitment that will determine your success, not someone else's. It's your responsibility to get yourself where you want to go. No one else can do it for you. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that others will make things easier for you. Maybe you think your boss will recognize your hard work, your friends will support your journey, or someone will come along to give you a leg up. But the truth is, people may not always see your potential. They might not understand your vision. They may not care as much as you do about your goals. People have their own lives, their own struggles, and their own priorities. The only person who truly cares about your success is you. You're the one who has to wake up every day and show up. You're the one who has to make the sacrifices. You're the one who has to put in the hours, regardless of whether anyone notices or not. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't ask for help or support when you need it. There are times when we all need guidance, mentorship, or assistance. But the key is understanding that the heavy lifting, the hard work, the grit, the determination is yours. The decisions are yours. You are the one who has to make the choices that push you toward your goals. You can't wait for someone to make those decisions for you. And this goes beyond just career success. It applies to every part of your life, your health, your relationships, your personal growth. If you want to be in better shape, you can't wait for someone to drag you to the gym. You can't expect someone to cook healthy meals for you. You have to make that decision for yourself. If you want to build meaningful relationships, you can't wait for others to reach out to you. You have to take the initiative, make the effort, and build those relationships yourself. If you want to improve your mindset, your discipline, your overall growth, that's all on you. No one is going to do the inner work for you. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the reality of life. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to make things easier. You have to be the one to show up for yourself. You have to put in the work day in and day out, even when it's tough, even when it feels like no one is there to cheer you on. You have to take ownership of your life and your future. It's the only way to build the life you want. So stop looking for the easy way out. Stop waiting for someone else to hand you success or opportunities. Stop thinking that you're entitled to anything just because you've been through hardships or faced challenges. The world doesn't care. The world moves on. It's up to you to step up, do the work, and take what's yours. It's your responsibility, and only you can make it happen. The sooner you embrace this, the sooner you can start building the life you want. When you take full ownership of your actions and your future, you stop relying on anyone else to give you what you want. You stop waiting for someone else to make your dreams come true. You realize that it's on you. And when you take that power back, that's when things start to shift. That's when you start building the life you've always dreamed of. But remember, it's your responsibility. No one is coming to do it for you. The world doesn't owe you anything. So get to work. There will be times in your life when everything feels like it's falling apart. There will be moments when your body is screaming at you to stop, when your mind is telling you that you can't go any further, and when it seems like there's no point in pushing through the pain. You'll feel the weight of the world bearing down on you, and the temptation to quit will be overwhelming. But let me tell you something, this is when you find out who you really are. This is when you discover your true strength. It's in those moments of deep struggle, when you're at your lowest, that you have the opportunity to build yourself into something greater than you were before. The pain you feel in those moments isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual. It's the culmination of every doubt, every fear, and every weakness you've ever had. And here's the thing, that pain isn't something to be afraid of. It's not something to run from. The truth is, pain is the greatest teacher you'll ever have. It's the force that pushes you beyond your limits. It's the tool that breaks you down, but it also builds you up. The deeper the struggle, the stronger you become. But only if you choose to face it head on. Only if you refuse to let the pain define you. It's easy to give up when things get hard. It's easy to throw in the towel and take the path of least resistance. The world rewards comfort, ease, and the quick fix mentality. But real growth, real transformation happens only when you're willing to push through the discomfort, when you're willing to endure the pain and keep moving forward despite it. We all have moments where we feel like we're not going to make it. The road is too long, the obstacle's too great, and the odds are stacked against us. But here's the secret, the pain doesn't last forever. It's temporary. Every time you push through it, every time you ignore the urge to quit and take another step forward, you grow stronger. And what you're left with after the struggle is something that cannot be taken away from you, a resilience that will carry you through the next challenge, and the one after that, and the one after that. The thing is, most people stop at the first sign of pain. They stop when they feel the first wave of discomfort, when their muscles start to burn or their energy starts to fade. But the truly great ones, the ones who reach the highest levels, are the ones who keep going when it hurts the most. They understand that pain is just a part of the process. It's not something to avoid, it's something to embrace. Pain is your teacher, your guide, your companion on the journey to greatness. You're going to face obstacles that seem insurmountable. You're going to face failures that make you question yourself. You're going to face moments where you want to quit, where you feel like you've given everything you have and there's nothing left. But it's in those moments that you have to dig deep. You have to find that inner strength, the strength that comes from knowing that you've been through hard times before and you've made it out the other side. You have to trust that no matter how hard it gets, you have the ability to keep moving forward. That doesn't mean the pain will go away immediately or that you won't suffer, but it does mean that you'll learn how to endure it. You'll learn how to push through the hard times and keep your eyes on the goal, even when everything inside of you is telling you to stop. The more you train yourself to face pain head on, the stronger your mental fortitude will become. You'll become less dependent on external validation, less reliant on motivation, and more connected to your own inner power. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the toughest warriors, they didn't get to where they are by avoiding pain. They got there because they learned how to move through it. They learned how to keep going when their bodies were exhausted, when their minds were drained, when the world around them was telling them they couldn't do it. They built a mindset that saw pain not as a setback, but as a stepping stone to something greater. And you can do the same. Pain is not your enemy. It's not something to fear. It's the very thing that forges your character, that makes you stronger, that proves to yourself that you can endure and overcome anything. When you can embrace the pain, when you can look at it and say, you don't scare me, you will begin to realize just how powerful you truly are. Because it's not about avoiding the hard times, it's about how you respond to them. It's about deciding that no matter how bad it gets, you're not going to quit. You're not going to back down. You're going to keep fighting. And when you do that, you'll find strength within yourself that you never knew existed. The pain will pass. The struggle will end. But what you build through it, your resilience, your grit, your mental toughness, that will stay with you forever. And that's the greatest victory of all. Motivation is a fleeting feeling. It's like a spark, bright and powerful in the beginning, but it can burn out just as quickly as it ignites. Some days you feel motivated to take on the world. You wake up early, you push through the workout, you smash your goals. You feel unstoppable, like nothing can stand in your way. But then just as quickly, the motivation fades. You wake up tired, unmotivated, and questioning why you even started. You don't feel like doing the work. You don't feel like pushing through the pain. You might even think about quitting. This is the reality of motivation. It's inconsistent, it's unreliable, and it's often not enough to get you to where you want to go. But discipline is different. Discipline is the foundation on which success is built. Motivation may come and go, but discipline is the thing that keeps you going when motivation is nowhere to be found. Discipline is the decision to show up no matter what. It's the commitment to doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. It's the mental toughness to push through the tiredness, the doubt, and the distractions. It's the ability to stay focused on the long-term goal and to keep taking action one step at a time, even when immediate results aren't obvious. While motivation may get you started, it's discipline that carries you across the finish line. Discipline is the key that unlocks your potential. It's the thing that allows you to do the hard things, the things that will take you to the next level, whether it's waking up at 5 a.m., to train when you'd rather sleep, or choosing to eat healthy even though you're craving junk food. Discipline is what makes it happen. It's that inner commitment that says, I'm doing this no matter how I feel. And that's when you begin to see real progress. The power of discipline is that it doesn't rely on how you feel. Motivation might say, I'll work out today because I'm pumped up, but discipline says, I'm going to work out today because I said I would, and that's what I do. Discipline is a long-term commitment to the process, not the outcome. It's about building habits that will serve you consistently, even when the initial excitement is worn off. The truth is, if you rely on motivation alone, you will constantly be chasing after that high, looking for the next burst of inspiration. You'll be in a constant cycle of starting strong and then burning out. You'll be stuck in the same place, always trying to muster the energy to take action, only to find that you don't have enough to keep going. But when you rely on discipline, you don't need to wait for a burst of energy or a wave of motivation. You're consistent. You know that the work must be done, so you show up day in and day out, no matter how you feel. When you build discipline, you build momentum. You begin to realize that it's the small, consistent actions that lead to big results. The work doesn't feel as daunting when you're committed to doing a little bit each day. And when you add up all those little efforts, they compound into something massive over time. You start to see the results, not because you were motivated, but because you were disciplined enough to stay the course. Discipline also teaches you to embrace the grind. It's easy to want instant results. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't come quickly or when progress feels slow. But discipline helps you embrace the process, the grind, and trust that consistent effort will pay off in the long run. The grind is where growth happens. The grind is where you find out who you really are, where your true character is forged. It's not glamorous. It's not always exciting, but the grind is where the work gets done. The challenge with motivation is that it often focuses on the outcome, the success, the finish line, the rewards. But discipline is about the process. Discipline is about showing up for the journey, even when the destination feels far away. It's about the commitment to doing what needs to be done, even when you're not feeling it. And this is why discipline will always win out over motivation in the long run. Motivation is a temporary feeling, but discipline is a mindset. It's a lifestyle. When you build the discipline to keep showing up, to keep doing the work, regardless of how you feel, you are creating a foundation that will carry you through even the hardest of times. When the obstacles arise, when the distractions come, when the tough times hit, it's discipline that will keep you grounded. It's discipline that will remind you why you started and push you to keep going. Stop relying on motivation to get you through. Stop waiting for that perfect moment when you feel inspired or energized. Build the discipline to show up, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. When you do that, you'll stop depending on temporary bursts of energy, and you'll begin to tap into a powerful, lasting force that will drive you to success. That's how you win. That's how you become unstoppable. That's the power of discipline. The world doesn't care about you, at least not in the way you might want it to. It doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't owe you success, happiness, or an easy path to your goals. Life doesn't pause for your struggles. It doesn't give you breaks when you're worn out, and it certainly won't make things easier because you think you deserve it. People might care about you in their own ways, but when it comes to achieving your goals, reaching your full potential, and becoming the best version of yourself, the reality is simple. It's all on you. When you finally come to grips with this truth, something powerful begins to happen. You stop waiting for external circumstances to change or for others to hand you what you want. You stop blaming the world, your past, or other people for your struggles. Instead, you take full responsibility. You realize that no one owes you success, no one owes you opportunities, and no one owes you a life of comfort. The only thing anyone owes you is the consequences of your actions, the result of the effort you put in. It's easy to think that someone or something else is supposed to give us what we want, whether it's a promotion at work, recognition for our efforts, or a better life. We get caught up thinking that success will just fall into our laps if we do the right things or if we try hard enough. But that's not how it works. The world doesn't care if you're struggling or if you feel like you're working harder than anyone else. Life keeps moving with or without your effort. The people around you have their own lives to live, their own priorities, and their own challenges. They're not coming to solve your problems or make your dreams a reality. And that's okay, because the sooner you realize this, the sooner you can take full control of your life. When you stop relying on others to create opportunities for you, you start realizing just how much power you have to shape your own destiny. Success is not given, it's earned, and it's earned through relentless hard work, discipline, and a willingness to push yourself beyond your limits. The world will not hand you what you want, but it will give you the results of your efforts. The universe responds to those who take responsibility, who go after what they want, who refuse to accept excuses, and who show up consistently, even when no one is watching. No one is going to hold your hand and walk you through the process of success. You have to be willing to face the obstacles, the setbacks, and the failures that come your way, and you have to keep going. You are the one who has to fight for your dreams. You are the one who has to put in the hours when no one is around to cheer you on. You are the one who has to face your own doubts and fears and push through them. You are the one who has to rise above the noise, block out the distractions, and stay focused on what you want to achieve. When you take full ownership of your life, you begin to realize that you are in charge of the direction you're going. You stop relying on luck and you start relying on your own abilities, your work ethic, and your determination. There is no one who can stop you but you. The world doesn't care if you fail. It doesn't care if you give up. It doesn't care about your excuses or your reasons for not pushing forward. But the world will respond to you when you take action, when you refuse to quit, and when you take full responsibility for your own success. The world also doesn't care if you're tired, if you're struggling, or if you've hit a rough patch. It will keep moving forward with or without you. You can sit and wait for things to change, but nothing will happen until you make it happen. You can wait for someone to come along and tell you what to do, or you can take the reins of your life and start moving in the direction you want to go. Success doesn't wait for people to be ready. It doesn't wait for your circumstances to align perfectly. It waits for the ones who are willing to take action, to show up when it's hard, and to take full ownership of the path they're on. So when you start to feel like the world owes you something, remember, no one owes you anything. You don't need anyone else's approval to go after what you want. You don't need anyone else's validation to tell you that you're on the right path. The world doesn't owe you success, but it does reward those who take responsibility, who put in the work, and who are relentless in their pursuit of their goals. The key is to stop waiting for someone to make things easier or to fix the situation. Instead, step up, take full control of your life, and make the decision that you're going to succeed no matter what. Success is yours for the taking, but you have to go out and grab it. The power to change your life is in your hands. Don't wait for anyone else to do it for you. Take ownership, put in the work, and never stop pushing until you get where you want to go. The world doesn't care, but you should. You owe it to yourself to take control of your life and create the future you want. The responsibility is yours. The choice is yours. Most people don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. Success is not about talent. It's not about being born with some incredible gift, and it's not about having the perfect circumstances. It's not about being in the right place at the right time or having a network of people handing you opportunities. Success is about how much you're willing to endure, how much you're willing to sacrifice, and how much you're willing to keep going, even when everything seems stacked against you. The grind, that's what matters. The work you put in when no one is looking, when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, when it feels like there's no reward in sight. You see, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that success comes from some magical combination of being in the right place at the right time, having the right mentor, or being lucky enough to have the perfect circumstances. People talk about luck, and they talk about how things just worked out for certain people. But the truth is, those moments of luck are usually the result of years of hard work, preparation, and sacrifice that no one saw. The people who get lucky are often the ones who grind it out when everyone else quits. The ones who keep going even when the road is tough and the odds are against them. Success comes to those who keep pushing even when they don't feel like it, even when they're not motivated, and even when no one is cheering them on. And that's the hard truth. The road to success isn't easy. There's no secret formula or shortcut. There's no magic pill that's going to suddenly make everything click. Success requires sacrifice, discipline, and a relentless commitment to the grind. It's the day in, day out commitment to showing up and doing the work, even when it feels like nothing is happening. It's about putting in the time and effort when you're tired, when you're frustrated, and when you're doubting yourself. It's the willingness to make the sacrifices, to put in the hours, to deal with the discomfort, to handle the failure and keep pushing forward. If you're waiting for motivation to strike or for someone to hand you the keys to success, you're going to be waiting forever. Motivation is a fleeting thing, a feeling that can come and go. Some days you'll feel fired up and ready to conquer the world. Other days you won't feel like getting out of bed, let alone putting in the work. The people who succeed aren't the ones who are constantly motivated. They're the ones who make the choice to show up, whether they feel like it or not. They choose discipline over motivation. They choose consistency over inspiration. They keep going because they know that if they stop, they lose. This is where the grind comes in. The grind is what happens in the silence. It's what happens when no one is watching, when there's no applause, and when the results aren't immediate. It's those long, lonely hours when you're working in obscurity, putting in effort that might not seem to pay off. The grind is the ability to keep moving forward even when you don't see instant results. Most people give up before the results come. They get frustrated when things don't happen fast enough and they stop showing up because they can't see the progress. But the truth is, the grind is where the progress happens. The grind is where the transformation takes place. The grind is where you develop the strength, the mindset, and the resilience to push through the obstacles and come out stronger on the other side. The people who succeed in life are the ones who embrace the grind. They understand that it's not about the instant gratification and it's not about the easy wins. They know that every small step forward, every ounce of effort, every moment of discomfort is part of the process. They know that success is built on the foundation of consistent hard work and that nothing worth having comes without sacrifice. If you want to build something meaningful, whether it's in your career, your health, or your personal life, you have to commit to the grind. You have to embrace the fact that it's going to take time, that you're going to fail, and that there will be days when you question why you're even doing this. But it's in those moments when you feel like quitting, when you feel like the mountain is too steep to climb, that you need to dig deeper. It's when you push through those moments that you start to build something real, something that will last. It's in the grind that you forge your character and your willpower. Success is not just about having talent or connections. It's about the grind. It's about how hard you're willing to work, how much you're willing to sacrifice, and how long you're willing to keep going when everything around you tells you to quit. There is no magic formula for success. There is only the grind and the willingness to show up every single day, no matter how hard it gets, and do the work. Because the grind is where greatness is built. The grind is where you win.